happy Friday, the first Friday of Q4. Let's look at some of the metrics quickly. Long to short ratio, still heavily short at the moment. It's quite nice to see. We're 60% short, so definitely more fuel to the upside. We are kind of overdue a pullback, but anyway, we want to wait for some stuff to break and for it to be a bit more defined. We've got a very clear cross on the long to short ratio on the daily time frame as well. Top traders are also going short, which is quite interesting to see. So yeah, everyone really going short at this moment. Makes me just a little bit hesitant right in the immediate future. But yeah, on the liquidation side, it's pretty thin, guys. It's pretty thin. I feel like I should zoom out more. It's pretty thin, isn't it? Yeah, so we have built some minor pockets down below us. There's a little bit above us, not really too much. Yeah, we're just kind of getting into that area where we don't really have too much liquidity to either side. Well, there's actually a lot to the downside now. So if we see some longs coming back in after like a new high and it's like really divergent, then yeah, we might be looking at a stupid pullback. In terms of the order book, let me take the footprint off and the node. Yeah, so there is a volume node down below us at 114.3. But yeah, that's quite a long way from us right now. We'd have to sort of like break levels at 116.5-ish. Also sitting on a minor one just below us at 118.7. So that's probably the local level to hold, 118.7. Yeah, in terms of the order book, not really too much there. Max pain, as we know, I think we pinged the short max plane. The 2-week one is 120.9. So yeah, we did hit 120.9. And the monthly is sitting at 121.1 or 121.2. So yeah, every sign is kind of pointing towards getting a pullback quite soon. But yeah, I'm not shorting just now. Change the stream. Just make sure that that's all good. Yeah, that's all good. So Bitcoin, yeah, we're in the Stuba resistance now. We've got the daily open sitting on the 786. We've got some bearish divergence on the 4 hour. Yeah, it's looking like minorly like we could get a pullback, just a little bit. We are getting some cash flow out. We have seen some, not really some local breakdown yet. We've got some hidden bull div on the hourly time frame, so we could see a little bit higher. There's more shorts in the market, but we are getting to sort of the area where you could expect a little bit of a pullback and maybe for us to test some levels down below. Yeah, that Q4, that weekly open, this is all like untested right now, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see a little bit of a pullback, but not sure in just now. Why is that? I'm not sure why that's on there, but yeah, it's looking pretty interesting for sure. ETH, really no change since yesterday. Gained back September, which is nice on a daily close. Actually, that was really good. Currently seeing a bit of resistance, just on this level here. which is a big level to potentially gain back. And yeah, in terms of shorting, not really that interested right here. Definitely could be a little bit of opportunity just from, we've actually held that on the 1 hour. Yeah, I wouldn't really be shorting this right now. We could just come back and grind a little bit higher. So in general, just chilling. If we do come back to like some of these levels, then this is where I'll potentially long. But no real sign of that just now. And yeah, it looks good. We're holding our longs, well, most of our longs, and then yeah, we'll just be chilling. One thing I did want to talk about is Filecoin and AVAX from yesterday. So what's AVAX doing? Yeah, AVAX is kind of bear diving quite heavily here. We do have a local new high and this low that we do want to hold, that we are testing right now. So again, I've just got my stop below here. I don't want to close some candles below here, otherwise it starts to look really sketchy. This was a nice retest of the weekly open and Q4. If we kind of like don't make a new high, it might start to roll over a little bit, but I feel like the risk is fine for me here. I mean, I got in from here anyway, so probably just came back to my entry, and then yeah, I'm waiting for this to potentially break out. Even though we are getting some bear div, which is worrying me a little bit, it's not gonna scare me out of the trade. If we start getting back down here, I think my stop's like sitting at like 29.5. So I'll try again, maybe in this overlapping support. Maybe I'll have some orders set a little bit lower. But another thing that is looking pretty decent is Filecoin. I do have this Stuba on, which sits just under the weekly open. I don't really need to have that on, to be honest, because it's very easy to see where the support is and where we don't want to lose. This was a really big SR flip and a great retest on this wick. Also retested Q4 as well. So the only level that is untested is the weekly open. So you can potentially start trying to get into something here. But yeah, the risk is going to be a little bit sketchy. So I would go on quite low leverage for this, especially if we start seeing some snapbacks in Bitcoin. But in general, as a chart, it looks relatively quite good to grind up towards September. So that's what I'm looking for on Filecoin. I did catch a long here and took all the profit off here and here, and I have some orders restacked here. So yeah, that's two things that I'm in and I'm hoping that will pump before Bitcoin gets a little bit of a pullback. Just because the charts are looking really nice. One other thing that's doing quite well, Asta, currently gained its weekly open. So I do think I was talking about longing this here, which was my mistake, to be honest. I remember saying that to you guys, and I was like, oh, damn. But if we lost that level, that we were going to go to the 786, and this was, again, going to be a good long. If no one caught the 786, there was a really good retest that we were talking about on Thursday, which was this candle, which just tested the Q4 and closed above, like here. So since then, I actually got a long on the Q4, so somewhere around there, and we've grinded up and have gained the weekly open. So quite nice, looking good. Currently coming up to resistance here. We've actually hit it quite nicely on the hourly. So yeah, might see a little bit of a pullback to the daily, but it's looking quite good. So yeah, I hope this goes all the way up to the highs now, 230-ish. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I'm watching at the moment. I am watching Arve. We did get a trade on this somewhere in here, and it also looks like it's doing quite well. It does have a nice retest of this high so far, just there. And yeah, we're just looking for everything to like grind up a little bit more from the start of the week. You know, Arve, AVAX, Sui. We're getting long on Sui on Monday, and this has also done quite well as well. So I've sold, you know, like most of my trade in here. And yeah, in general, it's looking very good. So for the weekend, I'll be looking at stuff like potentially Pepe. If it wants to hold this level. If not, obviously we're going to go down and do a weekly open Q4 retest. That's fine. But right now, the 4 hour looks generally quite good if we want to do like a retest and then squeeze up into August. So we might get a continuation on the weekend for alts. But yeah, I'm relatively chilled at the moment. I don't want to overtrade in this area. I'm going to wait for the weekly close. And yeah, so what's everyone up to? What's everyone looking at? I would like to hear like your thoughts. You always bring good trades as well. Like coins come up and hit resistance. This was actually heavy resistance. Whoa, in here. Just out of interest, on light, does anyone trade Litecoin? That's actually a big zone. So one thing, if you're actually looking to potentially hedge a short on, is maybe Litecoin. Because that daily open, if we zoom in, that daily open there and this 4 hour combination, man, if that can hold us down, we've actually locally broken on the hourly a little bit. So if we come up and we don't get above there, it might be something that you could potentially hedge just a little bit. Because I know for one, my account is incredibly long at the moment. So I might actually literally just hedge off some of my profits in like the smallest. It's not going to be like a crazy, you know, like 5x Litecoin, huge margin short, but it might just be a little bit of like a 3x scale in, stop at 2% sort of thing. Asta has crazy unlocks. So yeah, when are the unlocks coming for Asta? They must be in a week. Also, does anyone know what's happening with the tariff shit? Because I feel like someone was saying that 17th of every month that they're doing some like revised sort of tariff stuff this month. US government shutdown, yeah, but I don't think anyone really cares about that. That's happened a few times, right? They just can't agree on the funding or whatever, so it doesn't get passed or some shit like that. So I'm not really too worried about the government shutdown at all, actually. But yeah, in general, if render comes back down towards the weekly open and this like cluster of support, I'll potentially long on the high of these highs that we gain back, which is also kind of locally breaking down. But apart from that, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, guys. So yeah, I might stop my recording. We can just chill for a bit. What's Turbo doing? Yeah, it looks pretty good. So yeah, let me stop my recording.